Anyway, yeah, well, Bitcoin, started starting the new day, busted right through the daily range, got back up above the weekly, which is what we wanted. Couple rejections off the 1SD on the daily, the Blue Cross line right there. Obviously, right? We all know it's all about probabilities. Could it go through there? Yeah. There's a probability percentage that it could go through there and close candles. But at the same time, there's a 68.3% chance it won't. So that's what's great about these probabilities, where just people that don't understand this, they're just missing out. It's all about math, which I was a denier for a long time. When we were trading the other way, I'm like, what? Bullshit. But then you really dig in and you're like, okay, I missed the whole point of this.
Yeah, like literally, this is how the entire market works.
Yeah.
Like missed the biggest point about the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's just very, very, very few people understand it, even know about it. You start talking about probabilities to most traders, and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Right.
No,
Right.
I got my moving averages and my relative strength index and my stochastics and my MACD and all the other worthless crap based on price that lags, and my God. And so in that case, divergence is bullshit, in my opinion. Always has been. But when you start looking at divergence in a different way, the only divergence that matters is going to be between the price action and what's going on with the returns. It just made so much sense. Then I was like, holy shit. Once you really dig into it, you're like, well, this is just when you start to see that divergence build between the returns and price action, you're like, the return on my investment's diminishing. The chart is literally telling me, hey, dipshit, take your profit. This moves over. So yeah, but then, we've got these levels where we know where to take profit because of the probabilities. And is what I always do. Like if I'm looking to take profit at the 1SD, I will front run it by like $100. Right? Even that wick got front ran. But you front run these areas by like $100, throw in a limit take profit, right? There's always going to be some retail trader market buying. We use them as exit liquidity. It's just a no-brainer. That's one of the main reasons we're not out beating the drum. Hey, you want to continue doing what you're doing? Go for it. You're our exit liquidity. We're not going to beg you to come over here by any means. But the ones that do and give it a chance, a lot of people come and they see these charts and they're just like, yeah, that's not for me. Hey, all the power to you. Go join the crowd. But the ones that do and stick it out and really, really put some effort into this, and I'm telling you, it won't take long, especially if you're already a chart hound and you're already in the charts every day, and now you're looking at something different, it's going to start clicking. It might take a month or two or whatever, but you're going to start to see some things and be like, oh, there is something to this. What's happening here? Why did I not know about this? It's like, why doesn't anybody know? Because It's like the people that are pushing the scam on the retail traders are literally the ones that are doing it because they're using them as exit liquidity. And so I saw that and I was like, okay, I'm on the wrong team. I need to jump on this other side here. Then you're like, okay, well, it's not people. It's actually people. People are programming the algos, but you've got all whatever percentage of liquidity that the algos are working. It's a lot, right? It's probably 90%, 80, 90, depending on probably. Now, if we're in some massive bull run and the retail traders got sticks up their butts and they're just throwing money out the window, hey, I'm sure it changes a little bit. But normal days, all this liquidity is coming from those algos. And these guys are literally trying to swing trade volatility. These algos are going to throw this Bitcoin price all over the place. Just like I read the message in this other Discord the other day where he's like, oh, I just lost 50% of my trading account. I don't know what to do. I didn't even have to ask. I was just like, well, first off, stop using leverage. I mean, it's a no-brainer. And somebody else was like, well, how do you know he's using leverage? You don't lose 50% of your fucking account. I'm looking at the move he's talking about. I was like, you don't lose 50% of your trading account on that move unless you are highly leveraged. And he probably just sat there and watched his stop loss get hit. This is the problem. They're doing so many bad things. They're emotionally attached to their trades. They're not taking their profits. They're trying to swing trade volatility. And then they're crying on Twitter or they're crying in a Discord. They lost all their money. And I told him, I was like, you're being misled. Whoever, even if it was yourself, taught you how to trade or what tools to use, you're being misled big time, my friend. It's a no-brainer. I was like, you're just exit liquidity. And it was just proven. You lost what? Half your account? Yeah, of course you did. You're over leveraged. And so are a lot of other people. And that's why boop, that wick just nailed your ass. And then turned right back around. I mean, look at these volatile swings on the 15-minute. And these people are trying to swing trade this shit. Are you kidding me right now? Just isn't going to happen. Take your profit. Take your profit. There's so many good moves on this 15-minute. This week and this week. I mean, holy crap. This thing's, let's see here on a macro level. This is what's good too. So if this continues like this today and through the weekend, this weekly range is going to ramp up again. And you know what else is going to happen? It's going to tighten up. I mean, this is already tight, right? It's going to get a lot tighter. It's going to get a lot tighter. I'm not surprised because usually when you see a tight weekly range like this, you're going to see a trend. Now, look at the fluctuation of the price action. It trended all right. It's just trending up and down, right? It didn't go one direction. But these are nice little, what are these little percentage from top to bottom? Let's see here. This thing's literally in about a 4% range. Well, you know what? We did have that bigger dip. It's probably more like 6. Yep, well, 5.5, 5.25. That's really not that. I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't be a bit surprised either today or over the weekend if we get a bigger move because this weekly range is pretty damn tight. This thing should be trending more, even though we've had some nice action, but it's just ranging. But look at this tight range today on SPY going into the close this week. This will be important. I'll tell you what, SPY gets up above here, closes one of these 15-minute candles. This baby could rip. We could get a little pumpy. Let's see. What's a 1SD? 418? 2SD? 425. 418, 25. Let me see here. Let's throw this on SPY. No, I don't want to change my password. Get out of here. VPN always telling me to change my password. It's a VPN, man. Let's see. We'll test it at a 45-minute wave trend. Let me see here. Yeah. And I've been looking at this on the 4 hour last couple days. I mean, there's definitely some bear div, but this is a trip, man. This thing is resilient as fuck right now. Kind of gives me a little bit of hope. In a shit market, this thing is turning around. See the daily. Just these Z scores are so high. I think the 2 day though, 2 days up there now too. 3 days kind of chugging around. No div. Div though on the no, none there either. That's good. The div that's building. Is there a div building? Nah, a little hidden bowl right now. On the 3 day. Yeah, look at this variance on SPY, man. I mean, something's got to give here. There hasn't been like a big data move in a bit. I mean, in a bit. I mean, hell, the whole up move, right? After the scamdemic dump here, right? Look at this whole up move to all-time high on SPY. Look at the variance. That bitch just floated up. That's all it did. The market just floated all the way to an all-time high. There's really no variance at all, which is kind of crazy. Let me see what sticks out. But that's, I mean, look at this entropy, right? If we would have had this entropy indicator back here during that dump, oh my God, you could have rode it all the way to bottom. Even though, yeah, Bitcoin anyway, I was. What did it get down to? Yeah, 3,800. So I remember the dump from the all-time high at 20K. I started buying, I think I started buying at like 65. And my last buy was 32.50, I think, and it bottomed out at 31. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. But hell, could have squeezed every bit of juice out of that freaking berry if we would have had some of these. Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, that market straight up just floated. I mean, even look at the volatility. Let me see. Had this one nice expansion right here, but hell, it was a down move. But look where the correlation broke after the first freaking expansion candle. That's what I love about correlation. It just breaks positive and whoop, pulls right out of that hole, continues just floating up. Now here we are. Man, this looks like this baby. These markets are, at least the selling is definitely cooled off. And this is what they do, right, man? They are just fucking with people. We haven't had that big pump to the top side that's really going to get people off kilter. They're just down here, and in my opinion, everybody's just going, okay, yeah, when big dump, right? When's this thing really? Recession. Oh, the economy's screwed. Buddy, stop reading the news. Just watch the volatility and the entropy. So I try to tell people, none of the news means shit. They've been using news to manipulate people in every avenue of life since the fucking radio was invented. Just manipulation. Keeps people off their game, not the alpha traders. I want to see the volatility and the entropy. And I love the weekly on SPY. This, I'm telling you right now, I mean, look at this. The entropy is random. So this, from the bottom here, this whole up move on the weekly has been entropy going back into randomness, right? The predictors to the top side. If this entropy starts to go back into trend and that predictor doesn't flip, this is going to be a big move at some point. Because, yeah, there is no div. There's no div on the weekly at all. And look how strong these fishers are. Is that for BTC too? Let me see here. Yeah. But I am looking at this hidden bear, right? Hidden bear on the returns oscillator on the weekly. But so far, nothing. And like I was saying, if this returns oscillator just floats to the downside here and bounces off this zero mean while this price action's going sideways under these log return moving averages, we could have a breakout. Because the DLP is saying it, right? The Fisher's saying it. The entropy. And the volatility's low again. And this is what's great. So usually when you get a contraction negatively correlated, you start floating up. We all know what usually happens. Not all the time, but we all know what usually happens. That will ebb and float right into an expansion when the correlation breaks to the top side. Then you get the pump. And that's what you want to see, right? Because when you're contracting negatively correlated or positively correlated, it's gonna start the walk. And it's either gonna ebb and flow into a dump or a pump. In this case, high probability it's a pump, especially with all these fishers lined up and the DLP freaking going back. I like it. And the Z-score is really strong. And they're all coming off of that bull div on the weekly, right? All of it, especially Bitcoin. I mean, yeah, you've got just stab after stab. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, at some point, this move was gonna play out. So now we're just at the mercy of this hidden bear. I just want to see this returns oscillator over the next couple weeks just drop down to that zero mean and bounce. Why this price action continues to go sideways or just float up? Because it could still contract more, for sure. Over the weekend, maybe float this baby. Let's see. Where are these? Where the weekly Laplace range is at? Yeah, I mean, and look at this weekly candle. Done nothing but just ranged in between the 68.3 Laplace this week. The 95.4 is up at about 26.758, where what happens there? We've been talking about that area. Mean reversion, right? Returns will mean revert. Where's it at? 26.5? Everything just all matches up. It just all matches up. For sure. Hey, Yash, I got to do something for a couple minutes. You want to freaking take over real quick? I'll be right back.
Absolutely. Actually, I was going to jump into another topic real quick here on the DRE because Saron, you were just asking about that. The weekly range there, it's about $400, right? From about 22,692 to about 23,108. So that's about $400, almost to the dollar, almost to the penny even. So that's and we're right now above that range, right, and moving up nicely with the 15-minute as we see the RMLR positively correlated, and we see the direction predictor also saying green on this 15-minute candle. Let's see. The RMLR that I'm looking at is the 3012 is the one that's correlated here. What else? And we are floating above the RWTs. All the RWTs on my chart here are green. And if I go down to the super low time frames, you can go down to the 1 minute just to see what's going on there real quick for scalpy scalps. Anybody here? Look at that beautiful 1 minute bouncing above. We had about 2 minutes there where it came down a little bit to reset and go back up again for another little quick push here. With the direction predictor and the RMLR both showing us some continuation probabilities, even though we're at the second standard deviation already of the RMLR. So if it hits that third one right above us at the first probability down band, right at around 23,349, then that could easily be the point at which it could turn around. It could even do it from here because it's a second standard deviation band, obviously. So if you've been in this trade for more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you're at a good profit taking place on the 1 minute. Let's double check here when you look at, but you are seeing some hidden bear on the entropy oscillator. I know it's not the ALR, but it is a really good one. There's no div on the ALR, so no reason to look for div in that capacity. But if it does hit that target above 23,349, that certainly is a good place to take profit. And also, if it even begins to move back down here, and you've been in this trade, that would be a good place, in my opinion, to take profit. And if we see here on the Laplace bands and the normal bands on the 1 minute, we're rising up and we are sitting right now at a first Laplace band or just below it on the 1 minute. And we've been rising steadily. Now this new minute's moving up. We're already above the first on the 1 minute. So it's already moving up to this target, which we can see. And if it shoots past it, we'll see how it goes. But we do have an increasing entropy trend on the AME EPP. And we do have an increasing directional prediction on that as well. Plus we have, it's good positive correlation to that, to the upside. So we did hit that target. If you took profit right there, that's good. You can see we hit that third standard deviation band right at that Laplace probability down. And look what happened to that candle. It finished, it just came back down from that little wick. And now the next candle, you see the entropy starting to fall off, starting to get a slight bit weaker. And the trend is starting to get a slight bit weaker on the direction prediction. And we start seeing that the candle is currently flat. As a result, we can also see that entropy oscillator, bear div, is playing out now. So if it actually goes down, then that's that little div right there. But again, now we have a small div on the ALR over the last 3 minutes. We do have a bearish div there because 4 candles ago was a lower high than now 1 candle ago. So in theory, we're having a bear div, but let's see how this candle plays out here. Because again, as the information moves in real time, that's the beauty of trading the 1 minute, is if you have your targets like this already, see, we said already that we have the target at the Laplace band, so you could just take the profit there. If you've been in that trade for like more than 5 minutes and you would have gone up for, let's say, 2307, you would have gone up a few $100 just on that one move alone, just in like less than 10 minutes. And if you have the right position, obviously that's wonderful. Good place to take profit and reset, because you can see here this candle is getting doji right now. It's even starting to fall a little, like that entropy was suggesting it might. And we also have some bear div playing out now on the on the returns oscillator, because we can see also on that a slightly longer one of the returns oscillator, but the ALR one did play out actually, or it's playing out right now, right on this candle. And we are seeing a decreasing trend on the entropy oscillator, and we are seeing it go back closer to where it's pretty much beginning to be in randomness now, while the positive correlation strength, if you will, is weakening, and the variance is coming down, negatively correlated. So all in all, a reposition here, either to the downside or sidewalking, is happening. And that would have been, like I said, a good place to take profit a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, 1 minute, right to the 99.7.
1 minute. Yeah, I was just looking at the 1 minute a lot and just talking through like how I'm looking at this thing on like this chart. The VRE on one side with the RO and the RO slope, and the the ALR and the entropy oscillator, and then the entropy indicator, and even an old copy of the AME EPP, because that's what people actually have access to here, and the Wolfsbane and stuff like that. I just I'm talking through how I look at the screen.
The distribution in full effect.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody was just, oh man, a hilarious comment. Side note, real quick. I was in some what do you call it, PFP NFT Discord earlier, and somebody was really depressed about how they never get to mint a rare one. They're like, why is it I always have bad luck when trying to mint a rare one? My answer was just the picture of the geometric Brownian motion distribution. That's why.
Right. I just got to
open their mind to the math. That's why. Randomness.
Yeah, and Donnie's right. Fucking Bally is not a trader. That's what people don't understand. He's a horrible trader, and literally, all of us have even heard him say it.
Yeah,
he's just a horrible fucking trader. So yeah, crazy. Let me look at all this stuff here. Yeah,
man. What do you call it?
Show, yes. And Seiron, you're talking about Bitcoin?
Yeah, Bitcoin, the daily. I like it, man, with the projections and everything. It's looking good, man. It's like pretty much right back up to on this mean here from a couple days ago. If you put the projection back from whatever, some days ago.
Right. Yeah, pre-market. Now we're... I mean, these markets are so highly correlated, it's ridiculous. moving together. Obviously, right? Pre-market little spy to the downside. Bitcoin, same damn thing.
Yeah.
I mean, 830. I mean, this is what, people that don't know about correlation and stuff, they just, oh my God. There's so many things, right? There's so many damn things
Yeah.
we could share people, but they got to be open to it. And how often do you see this? It's incredible. You see this dump happening pre-market, and you're literally watching pre-market SPY go down. It's like the fucking no-brainer. There's so many great scalps. Pre-market to opening bell, usually right up through freaking at least noon. There's some great scalps happening. I mean, this was just bonkers right here.
Yeah.
And yeah, SPY, what was the hell? SPY get down? Fuck, it was down like I think 1% or something. 1.5. Yeah, it's looking good now. Yeah, are you talking about? Let me see. What is your weekly VRE? Is tight. Yeah, your weekly isn't tight on your VRE on Bitcoin, the index?
Anything on the index is not. Yeah, I see the $400 range, man, on mine. Mine's a $400 range on the weekly VRE.
The weekly?
What's your yeah?
What the fuck?
Yeah, what are you seeing it at?
Oh, look, here's my weekly on Bitcoin index. It's tight as hell. It's literally $50.
On Bitcoin index, you're seeing your $50 range. Interesting. Yeah, mine's at $400.
How the hell am I so? Why is mine showing this? Let me change it to perps. Yeah.
Probably a different chart.
Perps is big. Perps is a nice big range, but the index.
That could be a cash refresh.
But we're talking about.
What?
So if you put yours on index, it's a $400 range.
Yeah, I just posted it in the stream chat like a little while ago, like 5 minutes ago. You can see it right there with the labels and everything.
I see it.
22,692 up to 23,108.
Dude, what the fuck?
It's $400 almost to the penny.
Well, what the hell? How was my chart showing?
What's your well, real quick, MJ can edit this out if he wants. Time frame input, is yours on 1 week on the VRE?
Now look, now it's wide. Okay, I'm in the twilight.
Okay, so it was cash. It was the cash.
No, this is index. Now my index is right. Now my index is like you said, it's almost $400, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, did your screen just refresh though? Yeah, right?
I just refreshed the screen, but for whatever reason,
that's a cash issue. That's a cash issue.
Yeah, maybe
like memory.
Here's what it is.
Yeah. Absolutely, dude.
Get it right, Yasha.
Absolutely.
It's cachet.
Yeah.
Oh,
cachet.
no, it's cash. The French word is a cache, like a hidden trove.
Yeah, I know, but we like saying cachet.
Like a hide.
Yeah, but
I know Americans say cachet because they also say ridiculous things like
we just sashay into the cachet and do our little dance.
Cache is hidden in the past. Cache is a place where you hide something, or it's something that is hidden, like a trove. But yeah. Like bonjour. I remember people say that to me. Like they know it's bonjour, but they say bonjour. I'm like, come on. Anyway, good times, man. Good times.
So my cachet was Jack. It's okay. I'll clear it.
In your Laplace, in our Laplace distribution.
Jovi, nice.
Bonjour.
I'm going.
Monsieur Laplace.
Lord, I never drew first, but I drew first blood. Great movie.
It is kind of funny that so many French mathematicians did so much for this volatility math stuff, like hundreds of years ago, even some of them.
Yeah. What's his Pierre Laplace? Fucking what's that guy's name? Francois.
Yeah.
Pepe
Monsieur
Le
Laplace.
Pew.
Mr. Laplace. A lot of
Pepe.
Frenchies. And the guy who first figured it out like 300 years ago, also he was a Frenchman. I forget his name. But anyway.
Look, I got a
A
Frenchie.
lot of Frenchies. They like their math.
Yeah, they do. Little Frenchies. Yeah. I got a Frenchie. I'll show you a Frenchie whale. He lost an eye in the revolution.
Does he have a beret?
No, but he's got the Frenchie shirt. There's my little Frenchie. I was like, oh, he's only a one eye? On that 15 minute, 30 minutes.
So nice.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I saw that chart earlier. Yeah, I do like the diamonds. They're pretty cool.
They do stand out when you want disco effects.
Let's go. For sure. Let's see.
Yeah, no, Saron, it's the same index. Are you still getting the same thing, Saron? You still seeing a different range? Because you should be seeing the same range. You could refresh your screen, refresh the time frame, something. You see $400. Okay, so we all see the right thing. That was just a minor hiccup.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. Why it was. Let me see something.
I'll say it for MJ. It was the cachet, man. It was the cachet.
Hey, man. Dude, it was that. Look, this is what it was doing. It was picking up last week's.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, I
picking
was
up.
gonna say, like that's why the cache had to be refreshed. Yeah, man.
Well, it's like I never fucking shut my computer down. I mean, it goes, screensaver and shit. 'Cause
Right.
I got staking and shit. But yeah, for whatever reason.
Once in a while, I got to refresh that screen or whatever.
I'm like,
Change the time frame.
no, we don't, Goofy. It's a bigger range.
Right.
So now all this at the beginning of the stream when I'm just talking out the left side of my butt. Now this makes sense, right? Because the weekly range is telling you there's going to be a range, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's why I was kind of like, what's going on? Well, dummy, for whatever reason, your cachet was cached. It's okay.
Bitcoin cachet.
Bitcoin
cash.
cachet. It's like a dance, like the electric slide. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. But go back to our favorite. We're close. I mean, we knew this was going to happen, but when? I mean, this thing could go sideways and mean revert. We're there, pretty much. Next week, we close this. I was hoping this week we get a push up to that 95.4 Laplace and then open up this new weekly candle right at the mean. That, unless we get a big move here, right? And we're talking 4K. That's not going to happen. But is what is going to happen. Look, we still have not closed the weekly candle back up in this 95.4 Laplace range. We are above it right now. I almost guarantee this weekend, bears are going to try to push it down here. They're going to try to probably push us down to the 68.3, back to 22.5, which isn't that far down. So, but as soon as we close a weekly candle above here, and when we do it this next week after that, just like I said when this move started, I want to see what happens when this price action gets up to this reverse mean, because if it rejects here, we're probably going to see a new low. Probably going to go back down. And then maybe somewhere in this area break on through. I don't know.
Cheap corns.
That's why we trade low time frames. None of this up here matters. We like to talk about it, though. We do like to talk about it. All right. So, yeah, this is going to wrap her up. Yeah.
Have a good week.
Yeah, for sure. Good to see you, Coy. Yeah, if something interesting happens this weekend, I'll definitely pop on, do a stream, let everybody know. but these weekends have been pretty, obviously pretty damn slow. So yeah, but yeah, earlier we got this pre-market dump on Bitcoin, bounced right off the center of the weekly range. Whoop. But now rejecting off the bottom side of the 68.3 Laplace on this 4 hour. So that being said, yeah, let's do it. I'll if I don't do a stream this weekend, I'll see everybody Monday 9:30 a.m.
Yep.
All right,
Take care,
guys.
man.
Yep, see you.